are live. Hello, everyone. It is Sunday, August 21st. The time is 7:32 p.m. Hey, look, the time on my desktop is actually synced with the real time. It must be a miracle. And welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Stumbles. And I see a lot of people in the chat already. Hello, Harjot, COVID Hippo, Mark S, Brad Palmer. Clayton Crawford is here. Gertedge is here. PGH, Ali BHG, Who's Jaw. Vivian Johnson says, good evening, Stumblers. And we have Marie Palmer. And Jenna A is here. Jennifer Galla's here. Michael Nguyen, Action VJ. Let me get this going here. I'm having one little hiccup here. Let me just get this fixed. I was scrambling because my webcam was not working. Yes, I got a new cable, courtesy of Lisa from the last stream, and I ran into the same problem. So I just moved it to a different USB port. Hopefully it works. Also, I lowered my web camera to 720p instead of 1080p, but I don't think you're going to be able to tell a difference. But anyways, welcome to the show. And for the first time in weeks, I'm going to have a drink. This is the last beer I had in my fridge, so I'm going to have to go to the LCBO and buy some new ones tomorrow. But this is a Cowbell Smooth Light Lager Saline. This well-crafted light lager is brewed with premium Canadian malts and treated water straight from Cowbell's aquifer for thirst quenching and refreshingly good times. It is all smooth sailing from here on out. All right. Cheers to everyone out there. Truth be told, I'm possibly nursing a bit of a hangover. I went drinking last night. I went out to kind of an up-and-coming part of town, Little Ethiopia, just east of Greenwood, and I went to a place called the Wood Owl, which is a wine bar. Thinking I could probably have dinner there, but I ended up just having like charcuterie and some bread and stuff like that. Then I went to like a 70s, 80s, 90s themed like retro bar just down the street called Mom's Basement, which was really cool. So I recommend that place as well. And let's get this beer open. So cheers. Mark S, like my CNE video. Whitby Dude is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. So I've kind of been battling a bit of an illness over the past few weeks. Well, the first week I was sick, and then the second week I was dealing with like kind of the aftermath of it. But as of a few days ago, I like woke up and felt 100% normal. And what had been happening is while I was recovering from COVID, even well after I tested negative, usually at around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I would just hit a wall and I couldn't focus. I couldn't concentrate. I could barely stay awake most days. I would just have to like sleep and rest and take it easy. So I wasn't really live streaming. I was kind of doing the bare minimum in terms of creating content and keeping the channel going. But like 3 days ago, I woke up and I just felt completely fine and I pushed through. I didn't sleep or take any naps during the day. I went the whole day till like 1 or 2 a.m. And then I woke up at like 8:30 the next day and I felt fine. And then that trend continued yesterday. And then we're here today again. I was even drinking quite a bit last night. Woke up early for the premiere, stayed up all day, went out, made a video, watched the Blue Jays sadly lose to the Yankees. And here we are. So I don't want to jinx myself, but I think I'm back. So it is good to have my senses back and just to not feel like shit and not feel tired. And yeah, so that's basically where I am. We're going to put COVID in the rearview mirror. Yes, that happened, but we're past it. And I'm sure a lot of you, if not most of you, have been through that. I felt like I'm probably the last person to be affected by that, but I'm completely back. No after effects as of now. Colette Joe's Crayons is here. Hello. So again, cheers. Dutchmaz, was that Dutch or Dutchmaz from NYC said to say hi. So did you check out Open Streets, Whippy Dude? Well, I did make a video today. So it was that or going up to Little Manila. So I opted to do Open Streets today. And Emo's Music Channel, $2. Hi, Johnny. How are you doing? Hello, Emo's Music Channel. Thank you very much for your support and the super chat. I am doing great.
Hi, Johnny Strides. How you doing?
Although I spent about 30 minutes before the stream when I was supposed to be preparing and setting things up, fixing the webcam. So it looks like I still have some fixing to do on that. Sorry, Lisa. I am using a fancy new cable, as I see Lisa in here, that I ordered off of Amazon, but I'm starting to think it's something else now. But anyways, we're here, we're back. And two interesting things happened over the last week. One of them, check this out. Not to be showing off or anything, but this is my new internet speed. Maybe it's jinxed. Maybe it's not going to show its full glory while I'm live streaming, but I am no longer on Rogers. And my download speed is actually 1.5 gigabytes, but my Ethernet card is only a gigabyte Ethernet card. So that's why we're stopping below 1,000. But check out that upload speed. What this upload speed means is normally when I was on my old connection, oh, it's kind of slowing down a bit. It's actually about 940. It would take about 3 hours to upload a video. So one of my walking videos, literally 3 hours. And then if there was a problem and I had to fix it, I would have to go through that whole thing again, roll my eyes. Now it takes like 3 minutes to upload a video. Like I literally just uploaded a video, my Open Streets Walk, and it took 3.5 minutes. And that was like a 42 gig file. So I am rocking finally the fast upload. So hopefully that also means the streams will be a little bit better. I'm thinking of upgrading these streams to either 1440p or 4K as well. I do have the hardware to do that. The webcam I can't get higher than 1080p just because I'm using an iPhone, so I'm still going to kind of stay low resolution, but I think I can make the rest of the stream higher resolution. Bertej says, did you hear what happened to the ferry? I did, unfortunately. And now the ferry schedule is going to be screwed up for the rest of the year. Devin says 4K 60 is unmanageable. You barely have storage to edit 2K. Get some hard drives. I don't know what to say. I think that's definitely something I deal with a lot. So I had that happen. I got my fiber internet finally installed. And another thing that happened was I was waiting on a package. I'm getting a brand new e-scooter, kind of my dream e-scooter. Funny story, I reached out to the company and I was like, that looks really awesome. And they were like, oh, we like your YouTube channel. And then yada, 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 they sent me the e-scooter, but it was supposed to come Friday and it didn't come Friday. The FedEx tracking is all screwed up. Now it says it's coming next Thursday, but Friday evening I got a knock on my door and it was the UPS guy with like this big, huge package. And I was like, what is that? I know the e-scooter is coming through FedEx. Well, what it was, let me give you a little preview. I spent the next little bit building it. Here, let me just turn off the screen for a second. Sorry, I've diverted my attention from the chat for a second. So what is my other new fancy toy? Now, this is only in a partially built state here, but this is what I got. Ta-da! There, I blurred out. That's what I was just doing. I blurred out the brand. So you cannot see what brand this is, but this is my brand new e-bike. In this picture, I don't yet have the front fender installed, and I don't yet have the back rack installed, and the tail light is not installed yet. I did finish those up yesterday, and I took it out for a spin, and holy shit, this thing is sweet. It is like, I don't think it's legal. Like, it is stupidly powerful. The motor in it, it's just like a rocket ship. It does cap off at 32 kilometers per hour. Oh, Bevy YHZ is here. Long time no see. No, it is not a Segway. But yeah, so now I've got the Movin' e-bike on the balcony. I've got the ad motor, the one that I love, the super long range, and I've got this. So I'm going to sell. I already sold one e-bike earlier, so I'm gonna sell the Move-In because I think this is gonna be the fat tire e-bike of choice. Chris Mills says Rad. That is a very, very good but incorrect guess. Rad makes almost the same e-bike as this, down to like the frame and everything. The cool thing is this is a step-through model. Remember when you were a kid and when you saw a bike like this, it meant it was a girl's model, and when you had the crossbar, it meant it was a boy's model? Thank goodness those silly days are over and bikes are just bikes. Why are we putting genders on bikes? And if anything, it made no sense that the model that didn't have the crossbar was for guys, because when you think about it, the crossbar can do a lot of damage to a guy. So not only is this a step through, which makes getting on and off a lot easy, but you'll notice these little bolts here are going to let me install a water bottle or a water bottle cage. So I'm finally going to have a drink. That's one thing that I can't do on either of my current two e-bikes is just have a drink on board. So we're going to go with that, or I'm going to go ahead and install that. And you'll notice it's got a nice beefy suspension at the front, so that'll make it nice and smooth for live streaming. So tomorrow I'm probably going to try to get out and record the first video on it because I am obligated to do that. And then I'm probably going to live stream on it maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, and I'll reveal the brand and all the fun stuff like that. But yeah, that's my big news. And then on Thursday, I've got the new e-scooter coming. So it's going to be an exciting week for me and toys, at least. Just in time to coincide with me getting better. CubePog says, how much range does it have? I don't know. They advertise 30 to 60 miles. If it goes 30 miles, that's what, like over 50 kilometers? That'll definitely do. But I don't know. I have no idea. It depends on like the weight of the rider and the riding conditions and the speed assist and pedaling. It's impossible to like put a range on it. So what I think I'm going to do is do a video where I compare this to the ad motor and check out the ranges. But yeah, that's my exciting news. Now you're all caught up. Oregon e-biker Mark says, is it a Canadian company? No, it is not. Jennifer Gallet says, where do you store my e-bikes? You should see my balcony. I used to have furniture on my balcony. I used to have like a big table, a bench. I had one of those like 360, whatever you call them, the chairs that recline all the way back. All that stuff is down in storage in P2, I think, in this building. And now it's just all full of that shit. So I'm going to have 3 scooters, 3 e-bikes, and a regular e-bike. At least it says cough harder. You're going to have to get a bigger balcony. It's funny that, I focus on walking on this channel. No one's sending me shoes. No one's sending me gear. But people are like, here's a $2,500 bike. Take it. Make one video out of it. Like, I want other stuff. Send me a TV. Send me a laptop. Give me like cool shit. But, I'll gladly take it. Boris by Bike says, why not use a single speed? You can experience all the fun you have pedaling up Hogs Hollow. I have done the Hogs Hollow hill climb on a single speed on this channel a few times. So you can find that. Not this channel, on the good channel. This channel, it just gets the scraps of that sort of thing. Estelle is here. Hello, Estelle. And I don't know. I haven't seen Jeanette, but condolences. Sadly, over the course of the past week, her husband has passed away, and it's just really, really sad news. So I don't know the best or appropriate way to address that. I'm terrible at these things, but really that really hit me pretty hard because she's just such a valued and important member of this community. And she's just like the kindest, nicest, sweetest person on earth. So Jeanette, if you're out there, I hope you're doing well, and I'm very sorry for your loss. I haven't really addressed that on any streams or anything, but it's just something that is just on my mind. Really, really, really sad stuff. COVID Hippo says, well said, a very heartful message. Yeah, I hope she's doing well. Like, it's the type of thing that if you just sit there with your own thoughts, you'll break down. So it's definitely in my thoughts. Joseph says she's a part of the family. Yes, Jeanette and I think Mike Landry are probably my two. They were like two of the first patrons I ever had, and two of the longest. I don't know if Mike was a patron, but he's been supporting me ever since day one, and Jeanette has been right there as well. So yeah, I wish I could do something more for her other than think about it, but that's life. Life sucks sometimes, but life can be awesome sometimes too. So hopefully there's plenty of good things for her to come. Jennifer Gallus is my deepest condolences. I just wanted to address that. I'm absolutely terrible at these things. You don't want me to sign your yearbook. You don't want me to sign your wedding card. You don't want me to sign anything in the office when those cards circulate, when someone's having a birthday or a work anniversary. I will write the stupidest shit, not realize that I'm writing the stupidest shit, and then just regret it. So yeah, I'm not the person to be addressing these things. But yeah, Chris Mills says office cards are the worst. They are the worst. Oh, more Soho please, says Johnny 4 p.m. Did you guys know that in the video I posted today, that right there, who can tell me who that is? I did not know he was in there. That's our mayor, John Tory. I walked right by him. I guess it's a Saturday. I mean, I guess Rogers gave him the day off so he could go attend a festival. I guess, you know, they do give him some time off every now and then. But hey, he showed up to the Chinatown Festival and was in my video. That's the second time he was in my video. Had I have known that was him, I probably would have said Gil Penalosa for mayor or something like that. Seriously, look up Gil. He looks absolutely awesome. I would love to have him on the channel. And I saw a couple of people today wearing Gil for mayor t-shirts, which was pretty awesome. Lisa says, no, I wouldn't. I think I would have the balls to do that. I think I would. Anyways, we need to move the city in a more progressive direction, I think. Yeah, he says the mayor himself, Marie. Clayton says he was hiding behind John Tory. So that was interesting. It was right before I started the stream. I saw a comment where someone was like, hey, you walked right by the mayor. Boris says, Gil is good. Saw him at Young and Bluer and his supporters. I saw him at Young and Bluer today. I walked right by him. Chris Mills walked by Ken last Monday in front. Yeah, he says John Tory is a clown. Well, Lisa ate dinner beside a columnist last night. So anyways, that is you are all caught up in the world of me. I've got fiber optic internet, a new e-bike, and the new scooter coming this week. So hopefully, maybe the scooter I'll do like an unboxing video, or an unboxing stream, and I'll put it together. I think that is a little less ambitious because the e-bike is like a 2-hour ordeal of watching me screw up and pull my hair out, and I couldn't even do it all at once. I am terrible at building things like that. Boris by Bike says John Tory is a nice human being. Met him several times, but his reign as mayor needs a change. Hard agree on that. And Q-Pog says he was at Taste of Manila. Unfortunately, I did not get out to Taste of Manila. But Friday, I went out to the CNE. Yesterday, I went out to Chinatown Festival. Today, I went out to Open Streets TO. I'm trying to do one video every day. I used to like load up on weekends and do 2 or 3, I think. Just trying to do, and hopefully I'll get to the point where I can post them chronologically. So really, every single day, I'm just trying to do one video. And then anything else will be kind of a bonus that I'll post again at night. So like on Friday, I posted the other video at night. That's just kind of a new thing I think I'm going to go with. And then hopefully in September I can open up and start streaming more and just start pushing out more content, because I've been very, very lazy over the last 2 weeks. Ali BHG says the Orange Line shut down Friday night in Massachusetts. Bevy says good recommendations for a gaming chair. Yes, this one, the Razer. Devin says 130 plus viewing, 36 likes. How about a round of thumbs up for our lovely host? My last live stream, I felt kind of like dog shit. I was barely awake. We only did it for 56 minutes, so no wonder why the views were low. And this one, I was back, and little did I know that that was COVID that was messing with me on that one. And that one was pretty normal, but that one I was kind of excited. We were back from Amsterdam. Lisa says it's early in the evening. Mike T says I was shocked at the prices at the CNE. It was $10 to play a game. I was to the point where I was like, is this video even worth making? Like, it's going to cost me so much to like get in and do anything. Heaven forbid I want to play a game or two or eat some food. I'm going to spend like over $100. Like, it's so hard for just like a regular family of four to like do anything these days in Toronto. It's really, really, oh, the restaurant I went to, the Good Owl, very, very awesome place, super good service, but the friggin' machine prompted me to tip 22%. 22% was the prompt, and I didn't bother to check, is that on top of tax or is that not on top of tax? I just overrode it, typed in, actually I think it was an option. The bottom option was 18. 18 should be like the high-end option. But I just went with 18, rolled my eyes, and was like, well, at least the place was good. But 22% prompting me to tip as like the default option. F you. That is ridiculous. And no, I don't think I'm that cheap a person. I just think everything is like, everything on the menus are already up 15, 20%. And now we're like tipping on top of that. It's nuts. But on that note, Toronto is getting its first ever Michelin star restaurants, and I think they're going to be awarded or announced this coming week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Aloe is going to be on there. It's possible we'll have some low-key ones, ones that are not so fancy, or because like in Singapore, Michelin actually has awarded stars to street food vendors. And Toronto, we don't do high-end dining nearly as well as like London, Tokyo, New York, those kinds of cities, but we do like everything else so much better than every other city I've been to. So hopefully we get a bunch of more reasonable in the pricing department Michelin star restaurants, because I think if there's a city out there that has the best food on the planet, I would stand behind this one as a non-foodie. Keep Saturday for yourself and a day off, and then live stream on Sunday, says Clayton. Yeah, he says, Johnny, you saw the Go Bus at the CNE, and have you been to the TTC event? I saw the Go Bus, didn't go on it, didn't go to the TTC event. Debbie hates the auto tips. I hate just tipping at places where you don't normally tip. I went to Subway today for lunch, and it prompted me to tip at Subway. What? No. And they're standing over you, like watching you, like hit no thanks to tip, because now you feel like an asshole, like, oh, sorry. Like, anyways. Speaking of which, Colette says this is getting out of hand. There is a restaurant on Yonge Street that it's not gratuity built in, it's just tip free, which I think I want to go check out. Maybe make a video on. I think it would be cool. But while I was down with COVID, I discovered this channel. This channel is cool. It's kind of like The Amazing Race, only better. Maybe I just liked it more because it's like YouTubers doing it. But if you just want to watch a pretty cool series of people playing a game, Amazing Race Style, I would check out Jetlag the Game. The guy who made it is actually one of my favorite YouTubers.
3 months ago, we released
from Wendover Productions, and he teamed up with another awesome YouTuber in the first series, Real Life Lore. So just to
This video was made possible by Curiosity.
these two like iconic voices, like just to watch them like kind of travel and try to complete challenges, I really enjoyed it. I thought this could be absolutely awful, but they seem to have an insane budget, really good editing. It was just so well done. I watched the original series on Nebula, which is like a subscription service that a bunch of that's owned by a bunch of YouTubers. I think that one has a slightly different name than Jetlag the Game, but I've just been thoroughly enjoying it. So I watched the hell out of that last week. Alex watches this guy too. You love the North Korea video. AliBHG probably wouldn't watch it. Whitby Dude says, are tips expected in Amsterdam? No, actually. The one really fancy cocktail bar I went to, I didn't know, like, should I tip or not when the bill came? So I decided not to tip, but every single person in there was speaking English in, like, a clear Western accent. So I'm willing to bet that they tipped. Usually around the world, whenever you go to a place that's very Westernized, there's tipping. Even in Asia, if you go to, like, an Irish pub in Bangkok, that'll be the one place in Bangkok where, like, people are tipping. So I usually, like, don't know what to do and do something different every time I go to those places. Todd says Jetlag the Game was entertaining. I thought it was very entertaining. They did a US challenge and then they did a world challenge. And their new one is coming out in September on Nebula that I'm looking forward to. But anyways, I just had that up. And I thought that was neat. Eugenate says, who's here been to Nord Leon? Speaking of Eugenate 13, how about them Jays taking 3 out of 4 from the Yankees? There's the bar I went to last night, Mom's Basement. I was just looking up if they had a website. Welcome to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Mom's Basement at 1430 Danforth is a time machine that will bring you back to Saturday morning cartoons and action movies. You know, it kind of has that feel to it. There's this weird little hipster corridor, like just east of Greenwood on the Danforth, that I felt like I was at Bloor and Ossington. Like a lot of like dive bars that aren't really dive bars. A lot of cool places, a lot of really cool food. So I'll probably be back. Lisa says, do you ever go west? Yes, I went west to the C&E. That was west. That counts as west. I want to play some Pong. Yes? How do I do this? Sorry guys, stream delayed. I am playing Pong. Okay, we'll just play this one. Joseph says, Larry. Oh, this opponent sucks. Okay, that's enough of that. Scott says, wow, Pong. Estelle, have a good night. Ro is here. Ro, you must be looking for games. I don't know if there's going to be any games. I promised next time we saw tech, there would be some games. AliBHG says, what site was that on? That was on the Mom's Basement bar website. CubePog says, was that AI? It must have been. Ro's just here to chill. Just kidding, Ro, but good to see you here. It has been a long time. All right, let's just jump in. What's going on with Toronto? Boris says, do they have some CLRVs at the Streetcar Museum? There's a good question. The crane capital of North America since 2015. This looks like the Esplanade and Yonge Street looking west towards the CN Tower. That's right where the old Go Bus terminal used to be. And you can see Union Station there. We are the crane capital of the world. I was watching a YouTube video on someone, I forget who did it. I think it was MSNBC this morning, on like the rising costs of rent and real estate in New York City. And they're like, can you believe this 2-bedroom apartment is $2,500 a month? And I was like, that's pretty good if that were in Toronto. Like, how crazy is it that like our prices are like on par with Manhattan now? It is nuts. And their salaries are way higher on average than Toronto salaries. Toronto cleared the homeless from its parks, but has no room in its shelters. So where are they supposed to go? The number of people turned away from homeless shelters has soared this year, and no wonder. Yikes. This guy has been walking a long way. As a result of Saturday's ferry docking incident, ferry service between the Jack Layton Ferry Terminal and Toronto Island will be operating on a modified schedule. Yes, the ferry crashed into the dock and sent a whole bunch of people to hospital. Hopefully nothing serious has arose out of that, but I think the damage to the dock and the ferry has drastically altered ferry service. I'm hoping at some point to get my bike out, probably on a weekday, probably once all the children have gone back to school, and doing a few videos on the island. Open streets happening today. Yes, the 4 hours. That was precisely my response. When I went to open streets, the sign said 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I was like, what? So for just 4 hours all year, we're closing like Yonge and Bloor Street to traffic. Just 4 hours? Make the whole thing a day. By the time people hear about it and they decide they want to go there, it's going to be over. Like, it wasn't this well advertised event. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like the word of mouth. And they only had one this year, and usually they would have two in previous years. Lisa says it really effed up people on the side streets. See any parking scam in Liberty Village? Parking scams are a tale as old as time. Do not give your money to a random person in a vest telling you can park somewhere. I already know what that's going to be about. There's a beautiful sky. Whitby Dude remembered I collabed with CJ Hoyle on the islands. COVID Hippo says Ken is going live at 9:45. Rose says they should at least make it a bi-weekly thing for the summer. At least they should. There should be, I think, a pedestrian. We don't need to include Bloor Street. I think Yonge Street is much better suited to being pedestrianized than Bloor Street. Also, Bloor doesn't have as many alternatives going east-west. Like, people aren't really going to take Harvard, maybe DuPont, but Yonge Street does have the alternatives. I would scrap the Bloor element and just pedestrianize Yonge Street far more often, from the lake all the way up to Bloor. Make me mayor, and that's what I would do. Maybe just pedestrian Sundays on Yonge Street for an entire summer. Why not? 9:45, the new Game of Thrones is on. He should know better. There's a new Game of Thrones? I never really saw the other one. Had a brief layover in Toronto. Got this beautiful view on takeout. Holy shit, that is awesome. You can see here University Avenue. This is Queen Street. This is like Baldwin Village. Chinatown, Kensington Market, Alexandra Park, Nathan Phillips Square, the building where I used to work. That's a pretty awesome view. I started watching the new Nathan Fielder show called Rehearsal. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Anything Nathan Fielder does is definitely worth watching. They installed more pedestrian traffic lights in downtown here instead of putting in a proper pedestrian overpass. Well, I don't know where that is, Devin, to really comment on that. Toronto all the way from Markham. Found this Hulk-sized bench on the harborfront. Dogs for scale. How do we know those aren't super tiny dogs? I'm going to have to go check that out. Lisa says Mom's basement looks too cool for me. I can tell you one thing about Mom's basement. I was, and my friends, we were hands down the oldest people there. There was nobody probably even in their 30s there, and we were all in our 40s. Toronto all the way from Markham. COVID Hippo says mom's basement, more like dad's basement. What all Toronto mayor candidates should say about being a strong mayor. Candidates seeking to win the mayor's office should tell us how they plan to govern in this new strong mayor regime. It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. In theory, it's good, but in reality, it really could just make the mayor a puppet of a higher power. We'll have to see how it plays out. I have a feeling it's to set up a certain Ford's nephew in a few years. You must be 18 to over 18. What? Get me out of that content. I don't want to get my... I don't want to get in trouble. The fine for improper use of a bus lane is $110 and 3 demerit points. That is a very common scene on the Esplanade. That is the Esplanade, I think. I knew they were going to show the Esplanade when they saw that. Just put in like a traffic camera. Like, we don't even need cops to stand there. Just put a traffic camera in there. Take a picture of every plate and fire them off a ticket. Like, why waste resources on that? It's such an easy thing to nab. Bidding war, soaring prices. Toronto renters face a perfect storm in a tight market. Yes, it sucks to be on the hunt for an apartment here and have a modest budget. Thunderstorm over Wonderland. Toronto's Pearson Airport is now the second worst in the world for delays. Ottawa says travel woes on the mend. I think the worst one is Gatwick, and Gatwick is just like a collection of budget airlines, so not really improving there. Although in fairness to Pearson, I had a very good experience both ways from Pearson when I flew to Amsterdam. Worst by bikes is second worst. We can't even do terrible properly. Hello, Sapan TTC Explorer. That's enough of Reddit. Whippy Dude says the Kingston Road bus lanes are painted red. Yes, and Eglinton East are painted red as well, which comes to an end at Kingsway. Toronto Brew Pub permanently closes in a high turnover location. Was that the Woodhouse on Lansdowne? Yes. I think it's actually turning into another brew pub, so I don't think it's the end of the world there. One of Toronto's best new street festivals is coming back for a second year. Toronto Seagull says, how many e-bikes and scooters do you have? I have the Move-In e-bike, the Add Motor e-bike, and the new e-bike. So 3. I sold one of them earlier this year. And then I have my original e-scooter and the Segway. So that's 2, plus the new one coming on Thursday. And then I have the single speed bike. I'm going to do some hardcore consolidating in the winter. Don't worry. Not that this is what you're worrying about, but I'm going to narrow it down to just a few. The Geary Art Crawl is back again for its second year for a 2-day celebration of Toronto's finest art and culture. The Rain or Shine Festival shuts down Geary Avenue. Do you really have to shut down Geary Avenue? You almost never see any traffic there anyways. From Ossington Avenue to west of Dufferin Street, and fills the block with live music, visual art installations, pop-ups, and diverse food vendors. There was a time when people were saying Geary Avenue was like the next to Ossington Avenue. It's supposed to be like a cool hipster hangout. There's a pub there. I think it's called Blood Brothers. That is really cool. The first Geary Art Crawl was produced by Uma Noda Culture in 2021 and was a massive hit amongst the local community. Hey, an actual thing happened in 2021. Good for them. An estimated 30,000 people passed through the event last year, and it's expected that even more people will attend this year. Well, that looks pretty cool. The free admission festival is set to take place the 24th and 25th from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Have you seen Not Just Bikes videos about back feats? You've seen a couple here. I have Qpog, and it's one of those things that when you start looking for them, you notice them a lot. I saw a lot today on Open Streets TO, actually. Colette says, I wonder what celebs are coming this year and what movies will premiering. Well, we know the celebs that are coming are all of the vaccinated kind because they won't be able to if they're not. But yeah, TIFF is going to be fun. Hopefully, I think they're still going to close King Street, even though there's a streetcar on it. It makes so much more sense to hold TIFF on John Street. Like, you're not really getting in the way of a streetcar line. And that was one of Jennifer Keesmith's ideas. So hopefully they configure it that way, but I have a feeling it's going to be along King Street. Either way, it's going to be fun. I'm going to go there. Maybe we'll see Benedict Cumberbatch again. Ontario's landlord and tenant board is in a total state of crisis. Once upon a time, I've heard you could file an application against a harassing landlord or freeloading tenant and get a hearing in about a month. Now you'd be lucky to get to before the tenant board within the next year or two. That is something that needs to be super responsive, right? Like if you have a deadbeat tenant, you can be out months and months of rent just trying to evict them. Likewise, if you have a deadbeat landlord, you could be evicted illegally. Like, yeah, just for the sake of everybody. This should be a very responsive government institution. Toronto is getting its first ever Trinidadian food festival. We seem to have like too many festivals. I'm not criticizing, but it seems like every weekend there's like 5 of them going on. The history of Toronto couldn't be written without special mention of Trinidad and Tobago, and naturally there'll be a massive food and culture massive will be held at Yonge and Dundas Square. Yonge and Dundas Square is small. How will this be a massive food and culture festival in a tiny little square? We'll be hosted at Yonge and Dundas and will feature tons of entertainment, reflective. That's cool. The weekend-long festivities will bring you lots of DJs, food vendors, and demonstrations. Hopefully, by food vendors, it doesn't mean like churros and beaver tails and all the same food vendors that show up to every other festival. Hopefully, it's actually true to the theme. Celebrations for Trinidad and Tobago's 60th anniversary of independence started back on August 1st. That looks neat. I'll probably go check that out. I have hopes that it'll be kind of unique and original. Lisa's going to S'moresburg next weekend. I don't even know that. Alex says, I like festivals, but there's too many. You did go to Taste of Manila. The first festival video I posted this year did really well, and people watched it on average for like 20 minutes. It was like pretty strong retention, good video. And then after that, each festival I have posted has had less interest, and people have viewed them less and less. So I think, at least in terms of like making YouTube videos, walking through festivals, there's kind of a fatigue element where people are like, this again, I've already seen this. There is a definite sameness to our festivals, and we have so many of them. Alex says, anyway, regarding the Little Jamaica Festival, you should go as it's just down the street from us. There was one a few weeks ago in Little Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's another one coming up in September, right? Chris Mills says, Bill Burr on Tuesday. What? Bill Burr Toronto tickets. Can I get tickets? Probably not. Scotiabank Arena, see tickets. Are they available? Tuesday, August 23rd. No, I want 2 tickets to see Bill Burr. Sold out 2 hours ago. Lower 103, 1 ticket. $224 each. I don't want to go alone. I'll buy 2 tickets and just like grab a friend and come. Row 1, 2 tickets, $196 each. I'm going to text somebody right now who I think might be interested in going to see Bill Burr. Boris by Bike says Bill Burr is solid, one of the few comedians you'd pay to see. I really like him. He's hilarious. He has the best appearances on Conan and talk shows. 1 ticket, 201. I don't think. I just want to find 2 tickets together. Sold out, 138, 2 hours ago on our site. Whoa, that is far away. 106 each. Unrestricted view. You'll be seated together. How much is this going to cost me? Continue as a guest. How many bullshit fees and taxes are there going to be? Bob at youruncle.com. Phone number 647-777-7788. Let's just, this is obviously made up information here. First name, Bob, your uncle. Your tickets will be ready by Monday, August 22nd. Okay, just tell me the price. How much is this going to end up costing me? I don't even have the price here. I don't want to BNN address 123 you suck. Toronto M4A188. Just get me the price. Ticket price 2 times 92, service fee 2 times 30. Why are you paying $13.80 to buy a ticket? Fulfillment fee $386, total price $219. So 2 tickets should cost $184. I think I know what I'm doing as soon as this live stream is done. I think I'm going to get me some tickets. This is just like a treat. Thank you for pointing this out. I love Bill Burr. I have not been to anything like this in a while, so I think it'll be fun. Chris Mills says it's now a premium to buy online. Yes, I think I paid more to buy my C&E tickets online. Whitby Dude says Frank Murphy, F is for family. I'm telling my friend to search for cheaper tickets right now. And you buy all e-transfer you. They are watching the stream apparently, and they are interested. Let's see if they're up for this research mission I've put them on. Boris by Bike says Bill's Arnold Schwarzenegger bit always gets him. They said, I don't trust you to transfer me, LOL. Okay, we'll deal with this after the stream. But now I've got something to do. Rose says, is buying tickets in person still a thing? If so, you'd go to Scotiabank Arena. You bought your WWE Monday Night Raw tickets there. I don't know. But thank you to whoever it was who pointed out that Bill Burr is in Toronto. Hey, look at that. You can see my full name and the last 4 digits of one of my credit cards there. Thanks for putting that up, StubHub. We're going to close that off. Fortunately, it X'd out information there, and that's not even the credit card I use. Chris Mills says, you're welcome. Thank you. Lisa gets free admission to the C&E on Friday because of the concert at Budweiser Stage. I'm thinking of going to the Toronto Argo game on Friday because that will come with free admission to the C&E, and I haven't been to an Argo game in forever. I think that might be kind of cool. Also, I think because of the X, those games are going to be kind of sold out. And if it's really bad at halftime, you can just dip and go walk around the C&E. Boris by Bike says I should. You're going to that one. Lisa says I could see Interpol instead. Hard pass, as much as I like Interpol. But yeah, let's go check out Bill Burr. 5 little known facts you might not know about the Bloor Viaduct. Otherwise known as the Prince Edward Viaduct, which has Line 2. Oh, they have a Line 2 train. That picture's cool. I should use a picture like that for a background on one of these streams. Also, you can jeer Hamilton people that they'll be in tiger stripes. I'm not going to care that much to do that. The Bloor Viaduct is one of Toronto's most iconic structures. Here are some facts you might not know. The project actually consists of 3 parts. Most people think of it as the bridge that spans the Don Valley, but fill was used to build up the roadway between Sherbourne and Parliament. The first bridge spans Rosedale Valley, followed by the iconic section over the Don. Yes, there is a bridge over Rosedale Valley. I did not know that that was part of the Bloor Viaduct. There's a somewhat secret fourth component, although not technically part of the original design. The covered subway bridge between Castlefranc and Sherburne Station is an honorary part of the structure. Oh, that's that cool elevated, like suspended tunnel, if that makes any sense. Ro is having a busy weekend. You went to a Family Feud Canada taping yesterday, and tomorrow you're watching WWE Live. Who's the host of Family Feud Canada? It's like a stand-up comedian, isn't it? Sunjib says, "How are you?" Hello, Sunjib. I am well. The bridge was originally designed to look completely different. I didn't know that. There are many designs for this bridge, most of which initially conceived of the route spanning directly from Bloor to Danforth. I did ride my bike on that recently. It took 3 tries to get the bridge built. The bridge was initially controversial. The bridge was once the most popular spot to commit suicide in Toronto. Yes. And sadly, when they installed the luminous veil to the tune of millions of dollars, guess what? Suicide didn't go down. People just did it in other parts of the city. Kind of a disappointing article. The history of Forest Hill. That Forest Hill is right near here. Loblaws Groceries. What? The neighborhood's divided into Forest Hill North and South, but its borders aren't as simple as other Toronto areas. Okay, so this is something I'm probably going to come back and read on my own after. I was hoping it would be one of those cool, like this one. This is what Toronto looked like in the 60s and 70s, Toronto traffic. I remember when the skyline looked like this as a kid. I used to, oh yeah, it's Gary D or Jerry D. I've never found that guy to be that funny, but he's better than Steve Harvey as a Family Feud host. That guy just gets under my skin. He's like cringe, not funny. CN Tower, RBC Tower, TD Center, Commerce Court West. First Canadian place with the old school BMO logo on the top. And just on the right would be like the CNE grounds. Inglis. This is Liberty Village right on the left. I think there was a big Inglis factory there. Did my friend do it? Did we secure? My friend is doing it. He is buying Bill Burr tickets. I'm going to see Bill Burr. I'm just confirming that, yes, I will e-transfer you. Thank you again, Chris Mills. Bill Burr is happening. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Traffic in Toronto is a major drag, but this wasn't always the case. There was a period in the 60s and 70s when the city built plenty of new infrastructure and the burgeoning population had yet to max it out. I think this picture must be in the early 80s. First Canadian Place is complete and the tower is complete. So at earliest, this is like 78, 79, I think. Where is this? The early days of the 401 looking east from the Allen Road off-ramp. Avenue Road, Yonge, Bayview. Where are the cars, man? How nice would it have been to drive back then? Of course, we blew up a lot of walkable areas to accommodate the vehicle, and then it kind of went downhill after that. Not much going on at Front and York Streets in the late 60s. I'm just trying to think. Yes, this would be York. What is this? This is Front Street here. And there is Yonge Street. There's the Hummingbird Center. There's the Dominion Building. This is the most European looking stretch in Toronto that we have, at least in terms of the style of buildings. I really, really, really like the stretch of Front Street. Mike T says that wagon is definitely from the 80s. Yes, why wasn't I looking at the car? Etobicoke Strip Mall in the early 60s. Look how, like, unfinished that is. It's just, like, pebbles. Where you can't even see where the sidewalk is. There's a guy on his bike riding who's probably going to get hit by a car backing out. I absolutely hate this style of strip mall. Boris by Bike says, look at the line of land yachts on the front. What is this? King Street approaching St. Lawrence Hall in the late 60s. St. Lawrence Hall has been there for a very long time. A lot of these buildings, actually all these buildings are still here. This one, I don't think it still looks like that. Do I do it? I'm curious. No, Google, put me on the other side of the road. Why do we have this sidewalk view? I can't see. Google. What the hell is this? There we go. Oh, there they are. So they are still there. The building beside it is all new, it looks like. Yeah, these are either a whole new facade or a completely new building. Where are we? This building's still there. Looks like they really cleaned up the bricks. They're like covered in soot back here. Whitby Dude says the old building's cleaned up today. The air quality was absolutely atrocious back then. Cars would belch like black exhaust and the buildings would just get covered in soot. Plus, a lot of the buildings had chimneys that were actively releasing toxins. And then on the waterfront, you had all this industry as well. So whenever you see old pictures of big cities, Toronto in particular, all the buildings are just covered in soot. And they're black and they look gross because the air quality was absolutely atrocious back then. One of the reasons why people didn't used to live as long as they do now. Yes, we have better diets and stuff like that. We also eat a lot more chemicals and processed shit too. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but air quality was really bad. And all you had to do was look at buildings to see it. Is that the Chelsea Hotel? Empty Yonge Street, south of Bloor in the late 60s. No. Oh, these are... Oh, that's the Uptown. Sadly, this theater was torn down by Cineplex Odeon primarily because they didn't want to make it accessible. The bylaws changed and they were required to make all even older movie theaters retrofitted to be wheelchair accessible, and Cineplex didn't want to invest in doing that, so we lost the Uptown. I think it might have been a Famous Players, not actually a Cineplex. So this would be the west side of Yonge Street. Steak Burger. I think this place is still here, actually. Nothing else. A lot of camera stores. Kodak cameras. Remember when those were a thing? Liz P says the Uptown was great. I don't think I ever got to go to the Uptown, sadly. Where's all the action on Queen Street West near Beverly in the late 60s? Queen West wasn't yet a cool, hip place to be. That is why. But they still had those nice big, wide sidewalks. Gertej says the 80s and 90s are awesome. Boris says some of us still shoot Kodak film. Yeah, that's the Dominion building. Look at that dirty, soot-covered building. That's a federally owned property. And I think it was back then as well. You can see the Canadian flag on top. Cube Pog says finally a picture with sunlight. Front Street looking east from Yonge in the early 70s. I guess we're supposed to be looking at the lack of traffic. I'm more interested in everything else going on. King and York in the early 70s. Men's room. What is going on here? Metropole. Is that just a hotel retropole? It's not a washroom that's referring to. Lisa likes the fonts. Let's bring them back. This was pre-Helvetica. Once Helvetica came out, the entire world changed. And we went down that rabbit hole of everyone using Helvetica. I watched a whole documentary on Helvetica, and then Microsoft created some knockoffs. This is an iconic picture. I know I've seen this. The CN Tower rises over a mostly empty Gardner Expressway in the mid-70s. That is crazy. And First Canadian Place isn't even built yet. And you can see how like the Royal York used to stand out on the skyline back then. Are my Bill Burr tickets in? No, they're not. My friend is still looking. Buy them. I know you're watching. I'll pay you back. Gertej would love to go back to 1991. With Gardner traffic so low, Lakeshore Boulevard and Queens Quay were also quiet in the 70s. There's some silos. Man. Our waterfront gets a lot of slack, but they have done a pretty good job of making it way better. Looking across Wellington at John in the early 70s, this was a typical Toronto scene. There is like the entire skyline right there in that one shot. This is before the CN Tower even. More parked cars and industrial remains, but no local traffic at Wellington and Peter. This became the Channel 47 Cable 4 building, where, was it Dick Smythe used to do his little rants? This one is an original Loblaws warehouse that has been reconverted back into a Loblaws. No traffic as far as the eye can see. King Street East looking towards the financial district in the late 70s. Oh, little did the people owning these properties know this was going to become a hipster haven. There is... Oh, this is from King Street East. That is why I thought we were in King Street West. Yes, this makes sense because First Canadian Place is on the right. Commerce Court North is on the left. Commerce Court West. It's crazy that this is still the tallest building in the city. Before we hardly had any high rises. This is still the tallest building in the country. It will not be by this time next year. It'll be like fourth or fifth probably. We're getting a lot of near super talls. A lot of like 299 meter buildings are being built for some reason, and several that are over 300 as well. That was a cool article. Thank you, Blog TO. They actually did good and had a good article. Lisa says the Brunny is going to be a Value Village boutique. Let's see how long that lasts. I think Value Village is like guilty of jacking up their prices to ridiculous levels. Is this thing working? Vivian says hi to Mark. Boris says we need medium density buildings all over the city, not super talls. The super talls make sense for office space, but really the reason we have super tall condos is because we're so zoned for low density. It's kind of like the pressure. You're like squeezing pimples on the main corridors and it shoots up because all the pressure is there. But we can't build where we should be building. So you're exactly right. We should have medium density, but the zoning laws don't allow for it. So when we do end up building, we go super high because we can't develop anywhere else. So we end up with like massive high-rise corridors and then just single-family detached dwellings like blocks away. It is incredibly stupid. I fully agree on that. We need medium density housing in the worst way. Hey, there's King Street. So what is coming for this year? We have, these are just festivals coming up. So Taste of Manila was this weekend. Fan Expo is August 25th to 28th. I've never really been into that, but it can be kind of neat to walk around outside of that. All right, good night, Tara. Liz P says bad planning decisions. At least me and Ken, the both of us are still pretty big skyscraper fans, so at least we get that out of it. All right. apparently I'm going to have to be the one who pulls the trigger on the Bill Burr tickets. Colette says Frodo is coming. I don't even know who that is. Toronto Cider Festival at Inukshuk Park. I think that's down by Ontario Place. That looks kind of neat. Sintine Fest on Eglinton West. The 3-day festival is set to celebrate Toronto's Little Jamaica neighborhood, jam-packed with music, dance, and your favorite Jamaican dishes. I'm going to go to that. That's down the street from here, and I think we'll see Alex there as well. Taylor says Fan Expo would be interesting, seeing people all dressed up. I don't know if you can film inside there. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't normally do indoor kind of things like that, but we'll see. But Little Jamaica is a neighborhood that needs a spotlight shined on it, so this is good. I'm definitely going to go out and feature that in the video. It also needs to be designated as Little Jamaica, the fact that we don't... And Little Manila, too. Toronto International Busker Fest. The city's biggest street performance festival is back with fire eaters, acrobats, jugglers, and clowns busking in the name of charity. Where is that? The last time I went to Busker Fest, it was on Yonge Street, and it was cool. I think it was between Adelaide and Dundas. They closed it off, but it looks like it's going to be at Woodbine Beach. Join comedians, escape artists, word swallowers, musicians. Yeah. September 2nd through the 5th, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right, it looks like I'll be heading down to Woodbine Beach. Kind of an interesting spot for it. Boris by Bike says Busker Fest was at Woodbine before the only time I ever went to it. It was on Yonge Street, but that would have been like 7 years ago or so, I think. TIFF, of course, September 8th to 18th. Rolling Loud, the biggest hip-hop festival, is making its way. That's at Ontario Place. That's probably like an admission thing. You got to pay to get in. Taste of Kingsway. The Kingsway will come alive with live performances, carnival rides, and tons of local restaurants and vendors. That sounds just exactly like every other festival we've had in the city this year. I think this one's going to be a big, big hit. The Toronto Ukrainian Festival. North America's largest Ukrainian festival is back after a short hiatus, featuring 3 days of entertainment, dancing, music, and tons of food. Outside of Russia and Ukraine, Toronto has the biggest Ukrainian population in the world. So just given what's going on, I think this will be a big event. I think it's a big event anyways, but that's definitely going to be worth checking out. The Red Path Waterfront Festival. The Waterfront Festival is back this summer to celebrate all things water, complete with a massive Theodore TOO tugboat. $10. The South American flute guy will be at any of the above. The Peruvian flutists, I think it's Peruvian that I don't know. PGH says get some pierogies. And then on that note, we have the Roncesvalles Polish Festival, which they controversially tried to remove Polish from the name. From food vendors, polka dances, and live music, immerse yourself in Polish culture at this weekend festival. For some reason, I sat down and watched The Polka King on Netflix, a Jack Black movie. I don't know why. It wasn't good, but I couldn't stop watching, and I watched the whole damn thing. But Roncesvalles is a really cool, underrated part of town, so I think I'll be there. So yes, still more festivals to go. There's an Indian festival pretty much every weekend this summer. There's been a lot as sleeves. And I did a live stream at the one in Girard. Independent Mind says it was a true story. Yes, it was a true story. Has the Jesus guy been around Dundas Square? I've seen him. Not super common, but I've seen him fairly... Why was I looking up funny subreddits? What is this? Crappy design. I was thinking of doing... we're going to probably go a little bit longer. I was thinking of doing comments on this one, but maybe we'll hold off on doing that. Just because I think Ken is going to live stream, and I'm probably going to want to do some laundry. I'm wearing the same Dr. Pepper t-shirts every day. Lisa says, oh, love you some comments. But I have the crappy design subreddit up. Some of the tables on Swedish trains have a line in the middle of it, making it look like you could split it, but you can't. That is diabolical to do that and to not be able to split it. I don't know what this Theodore tugboat you guys are talking about. Aunt Barb says, I must love Dr. Pepper. I do. I think Dr. Pepper has a special place in my heart. Dr. Pepper and root beer. To a bike path where you can be one with nature. Where is this? What? Truthfully, it looks fun. I always thought American football would be more interesting with trees and obstacles in the field. That is effing terrible. I don't even want to know where that is. Captain America can fly now? Obviously, an unlicensed piece. The use of the color green. So this is a subreddit devoted to bad design, gender identity change laws. So they used red for legal, orange for legal, green for illegal. That's a really weird choice of colors, isn't it? I had to permanently ban 60 people in total for making okay, we're just going to skip this. I still hit the wrong buttons, sometimes even after owning this for a year. What? Which is the on-off button? Where's the HDMI switch? That's a pretty shitty design. From the hotel that brought you blood-stained curtains, we now bring you poop-stained headboard. Someone's attempt at art. This elevator at a hotel makes no sense. Up 1, 2, 3. What? I think what? 17654. What you can do on a lot of elevators like this is you can actually pull the buttons off. I know because in my building you could do that. You could pull them right off like keys on a keyboard, and you could switch them around with other ones. So I think someone probably just had some fun with this and took a picture. Like it says a roof here. Why would it say roof and a 1 beside it? Welcome to Devil's something. The curtains in my hotel room look like they're blood-stained. That's a pretty shitty design. Maybe they'll be featured in a hotel in Amsterdam. I don't know. What was this? What was the thinking using this image on a taco truck? I don't know. Is there anything really good here before I give up on the subreddit? Welcome back, High Crest Middle Schoolers. High Crest Middle School. All right, I think someone was just trolling when they made that. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to drink a light beer tonight. But at least I'm not falling asleep. And I will, after the stream, I have 2 goals. Buy the Bill Burr tickets, because I don't think they came through. And then go down to the laundry room. All right, we'll do some comments quickly. How's that? Some, I haven't done these in a while. Peter Ellis says, if you park at the Enercare Center, you get in free. The fee is $40, and if you have a family, there you go. That's neat. Debbie Black says he would get it. What? What are you talking about? Pauline was 15. The zipper was the very last ride you ever went on in your life after that horrible experience. I talked about how the zipper was nuts. You do remember back in the days, there was always a big music ticket show every night at the exhibition grandstand while the X was on. You saw Diana Ross one night there. She was absolutely fabulous. And back in the old days, there was always lots of freebies, hats at the food building and fun stuff and lots of walking. I remember those days. I really do. Devin says Debbie Black is a robot. Paul says, the thought just came to me that this would be an amazing video for people to see 100 years from now. They would be watching and marveling at it saying, This is how everything looked 100 years ago in 2022. Okay, fair point. I think you could say that about any video ever filmed outside these days. These C&E videos have done really well. I need to go back there. I'm thinking of doing like a evening or night video, and maybe I'll do a live stream while I'm there as well. I think because the video I posted on Friday night, I was going to live stream, and then I was like, I think people would rather see the X, at least in terms of like a how it would do perspective. That video blew up. That was literally just me sitting on a ride for 10 minutes. What happens if you forget to click your Presto card off? You get charged the maximum fare. I'm pretty sure that's what happens if you don't tap off your Presto. It just charges you the maximum. 2258. What the hell was that smell? You were there today and had to rush that section because of the festival. The smell was nauseating. It was like a mix between sulfur and ammonia. I think that was the stinky tofu. Holy shit. Stinky tofu is the most putrid, disgusting smelling thing in my life. The fact that people smell that and decide to eat it is beyond me. It is bad. I think I had only smelt it a few times in my life before. I don't remember smelling it in like Taipei or anything like that, but it's awful. And people swear by it. They're like, that's delicious. No. Hi, Johnny. If I had noticed you, I would have said hello. I'm the guy wearing the Brazil uniform in front of the stinky tofu stall at 2235. It's meant to smell bad, but it tastes so good. It's meant to smell bad? I always make a habit of buying stinky tofu whenever I get a chance at these street festivals. You also walked by Mayor John Tory. Yes, this is the comment I skimmed where I learned that I walked by John Tory. John Tory later posed for pictures and gave away some cubes of stinky tofu to other people. I didn't realize that was him. And holy bananas, it smelled terrible. How could you stand there all day? Atrofana says that smell was awful. As he enters the building, there were the escalators to the train platforms. I've been through Schiphol 4 times in the last 9 years and have never taken a taxi to or from downtown Amsterdam. The train is much cheaper, reliable, and more frequent from Central Station. You must have too much cash. I was leaving the hotel in the morning. It was like $20 and there were 3 of us, and it was like a 15 to 20 minute walk to the train station with our carry-ons. So it was just like, let's just take a taxi. Split 3 ways. The taxi made sense going back since it was a 20-minute hike to Central by foot with no trams to take us there. There we go. A classic end of summer tradition. Hopefully I can go this year. I hope you can, T.O. Steve. Joshua says, I used to love going to the C&E as a kid. Whoa, this is long. You're long. Okay. We're just going to like that comment and move on. Hi, if I were you, I think you should branch into comedy. I find your voice is smooth, and thus you have the ability to deliver the goods. Stay with what you are doing, mind you, but give comedy a try. I really believe you have what it takes to be successful in comedy. Some things you say leave me in stitches, and I don't think you're even trying to be funny. If you do try comedy, and I am right, you will be rich if you are successful and deserve to be. Thanks, but I think we're gonna stick to being a smartass. I can only imagine how hard I'd bomb on stage. Let's do the little laughy emoji. I don't think I would be a very good comedian. That is hard. That is one of those things that like so many people try to do, and most of them that are successful don't really make much money. Very few actually make enough to have a career out of it. Like it's kind of like YouTube, like shockingly few people are actually able to support themselves doing it. Like less than a fraction of a percent. And I say that as someone who's already gotten incredibly lucky with my modest little YouTube channel. I don't think I could climb Mount Comedy. I just don't think that would be in the cards for me. But Mary Ferguson says, too expensive for what's there to see, stopped going 30 years ago. TOO, expensive for what's there to see, comma, I stopped going there 30 years ago. Should I? Yeah, let's just leave that one. Claudia M says this video has been liked by you. Thank you. Devin says, awesome video. You enjoyed this one. Chinatown is fun, great music and culture. Thank you, Devin. Christopher says, great walk with the intriguing rabbit-eared people by the art gallery. Yes, what was going on with that? Could it have been an association with Chinese Year of the Rabbit? Maybe. Got a bit concerned that white van approaching onto Dundas with the make being Ram. Dodge Ram? That's just a regular... Top 5 for you says, randomly saw your video and a big fan now.
In this video we are going to talk about the 10 best things to do in Wisconsin Dells. So before starting this video,
I'm having deja vu. I think this person makes the same comment on a number of my videos. Really what they're doing is looking for people to come watch their channel. And he's not even narrating. He's using a robot voice. I've already been down this road. Hide user from channel. You're just trying to advertise yourself. Go away. It was very interesting walk. Thank you. Neville says at 9:27 trains still do pass there. Wow, this is a really old video. The bridge is where I used to be taken as a small child to watch trains pass by. This is a video this is like 2 years ago. Look at that. Old school thumbnail. Toronto walks with the 4K 60 on it. I used to put 4K 60 on the bottom left, and then I started noticing other walking channels do it. And all of a sudden, lots of them were doing it. And I was like, okay, time to stop doing that. My thumbnails were looking kind of cheesy. Thanks, appreciated. Please make a video inside the Enter Care Center. There's a weird request. Naughty Brown says, tired going to bed. Watch you in bed. All right, Naughty Brown, have a good night. And thanks for dropping in. Linda Jane Jackson says, holy bananas, Johnny Stumbles, fun night. Hey, we're back from COVID. I've got my energy. I've got the webcam working. Apparently, I just need to put it in 720p instead of 1080p. Hopefully, it still looks as good. Fans Buses Gaming can't believe in October it will be 2 years since you started watching. Boris by Bike says, Game of Thrones time. Enjoy the evening. I don't think I can compete with Game of Thrones. Harjot says, nice video, Johnny, from Chinatown and Street Festival. Thank you, Harjot. Sir Wedgie always makes me smile when Johnny runs into a viewer. Thanks for informative and fun videos. I ran into like a bunch of viewers today, and I ran into someone who works at the Repair and Run, the place that I've been fixing all my e-bikes. So that was kind of cool. He asked me where the LCBO was. The 2022 version of the Alpine Way, circa 1975. Rest in peace, Alpine Way. You were superior to the Skyride. COVID Hippo has been watching since early 2021, but didn't identify as a hippo until spring. Okay. Bill Chow says, at the stall selling Utopia bubble tea and cafe, they were also selling stinky tofu. That's exactly what that rotten smell was, Bill Chow. I wish I read your comment when I went by there. Sapan TTC Explorer, you're welcome. DJ Well-Dressed Man. Who has that as their YouTube nickname? DJ Well-Dressed Man? Okay, you have a channel? You posted videos 12 years ago? This channel... Oh, you're... Okay, those aren't your videos. Next time, stop your bike and don't ride through Young and Bloor crosswalk, which is for pedestrians. At 3021, let's see, what did I do that was so bad? Where you would have found base station. Okay, so we are at Young and Bluer. Whoa, look at this guy. What I do is I do stop and I take my feet off the pedals and I Fred Flintstone my way through these intersections. I kind of see it as a win-win because you're getting out of the hair of any motorists you're competing with, and it's not like you're at any risk of like hitting a pedestrian. So I'm kind of drifting into no man's land here. Here's where you'll find Blue Young Station, and before people going by, okay, is where you would have found Bay Station. Letting people walk in front, waiting till the coast is absolutely clear. You could even see my handlebar come up because I'm tiptoeing my way through. How was that dangerous at all? What? Next time, stop and think before you write an idiotic comment. Eye roll. There we go. We'll give him a taste of his own medicine. Guy with his four ways on is more dangerous than you. Marquez says, I drive fine. I mean, I don't actually care so much about the laws and rules of the road. I care about safety and being considerate. And I think I was doing both of those things. Yes, we should follow the rules, but I mean, if I'm on my scooter, I tend to get off and walk it through those situations. If I'm on my bike, I tend to take my feet off the pedals and just kind of like do this through those intersections. Or if I'm on the scooter, I might go like super slow, like 2-3 kilometers per hour and get through. But yeah, the guy in front of me clearly like just bolted right through the intersection. Vivian Johnson started watching me in January 2020, 2.5 years. Happy 2.5 year anniversary to our CEO. Lisa says, I'm not perfect, but you're far from offensive, like super far. I think there's a reasonable line. One thing I've noticed when I was recovering from COVID, when I was on my scooter or my bike, things didn't bother me. I would see a car in the bike lane and I would just go around it. I would see dangerous shit and I would just be like, whatever. I rode my e-bike yesterday and there was a guy just sitting at a stop sign with his indicator on and he was on his phone. I slowed down and told him to get the F off his phone, held my horn down, gave him the finger, and rode past him. So I think I've got my senses back. Like when you're riding past someone who's stopped and you have the right of way and they're waiting to turn out into traffic, you're always trying to make eye contact with that person. You want to see that they're aware of what they're doing, right? And this guy was just buried in his phone. Like, that is scary. So like, yeah, I don't know. You kind of want to see that the driver's paying attention to what's going on around them as well, especially when people are pulling out into traffic. It's just what you should do if you're on your bike. So yeah, F that guy. But I found myself just yelling at a random person. I've also been honking and yelling at people in the bike lanes, even if it's just an Uber dropping people off. So I think I'm back to being my normal jerk self. Evoke ASMR says, really enjoyed this. I abruptly disappeared from the chat due to your internet crapping out. Oh, thank you. You sent a super chat as well. Thank you for your support there. Amazing to see life in Toronto in real-time events. We're only at 12 hours ago. I don't know. For some reason, I got COVID. I got lazy. I stopped uploading video or making higher effort videos. I stopped streaming as much and my views just went psh. And my views have been bonkers this weekend. They are way up. Like, we've been doing comments all this time and I'm only at 12 hours ago. And I probably haven't done comments in a long time. So I'm going to have to do a lot here. Jenna A has watched my videos for about a year now. You enjoy watching my videos. You hope to come to Toronto soon. Well, we hope to have you, Jenna A, as I accidentally highlight Aaron Hockey's comment, who says, you don't play hockey with your head down. You don't text in public with your head down. Well said. People that like walk down the sidewalk texting bugs me to no end as well. Like some people can do it. They can like look at their phone and be aware of their surroundings. But a lot of people can't do it, and they're just being obnoxious and getting in people's way. And they think they're one of those people that can do it. Don't be an asshole. Steady walk. Steady walk. Amazing view and sound in Toronto. I can never get enough from the views of Toronto. A great city to our heart. Definitely will visit there in the near future. This Uptown Mall, yeah, this reeks of somebody looking for views. Naughty Brown says, when did I get COVID? I had COVID like the first week I was back from Amsterdam. I landed Saturday. I didn't test negative till like 6 days later. So I guess it ran through me pretty good. But the next week after that was pretty bad because I had no energy for anything. I was just a walking zombie. So it was like, yeah. And last few days, it was a little under 2 weeks before I felt like A-okay again. I think about 12, 13 days in total, it brought me down, which I think is pretty average. I really wish I was one of those lucky people that were like asymptomatic or had minor symptoms and were like, it's just a cold. It was fine. Like, no, it wasn't fine. It beat the crap out of me. $13 is too much. Average wage in Ontario is 15. 2 kids and parents 60. Too much. I agree. It's expensive. Whippy Dude says, do you go through Stumble's channel's comments? You know, I haven't done Stumble's channel comments in a long time. I'm going to have to do that. I just think the Strides ones are a bit more interesting. All right, thanks. Devin, we could do that, but probably not tonight. We're getting a little low on time. Estelle says, I've got Bill Burr tickets to buy, and I've got laundry to do. Estelle says, thanks for another good video. Thank you, Estelle. I think Estelle was with us earlier tonight, but she went, no, she's right there. I thought I had it, but there's a bad flu going around. Yeah, I think a lot of people just caught the common cold and didn't know if they had it or not. And I've been trying to I'm all out of test kits, because what happened was, after I tested negative, I kept testing myself. Well, I did it 2 more times just to make sure that it was like gone, that there was no like really faint line showing. And then I realized I don't have any test kits. What happens if, I feel like shit in the future? So I went to a bunch of pharmacies and nobody has any test kits. So I don't know. I'm probably safe for the immediate future, but I would like to have just a box of them just in case. Maybe, in November or December, I come down with a cough and it's like, is that what I think it could be? And you test yourself. So hopefully we get some more stock in. Just reading some of your comments. Novell Cost says, isn't 15 the minimum wage in Ontario? I don't know. I think so. Rocky says, hey, Johnny. Hello, Rocky. How is the e-bike doing? Independent Mind's new scooter goes 80 kilometers per hour. I have trouble believing that. That sounds like a death wish. Is it a Dualtron by any chance? Marg H says Walmart gives them away. The greeters hand them out. In Toronto, I have not been able to find them. I've been to Rexalls and Shoppers and other pharmacies, and they're like, no, we haven't had them in months. Devin says they're not too hard to find in the U.S. Maybe I've just had bad luck. Thank you, Estelle. Dylan Reynolds says, good morning, everyone. Bartman says, turkey legs were $20 last time you were there in 2019. What were they, 25 this time? Dear Johnny, as usual, nice video shared, well described, and well picturized. It makes you feel as if I am hover there at weekend night. Love to see your all video shared. Thank you, FG Prince. Thank you, Falcom Scott. Rocky says no word on the bike yet from Movin'. He asked for... Rocky's had some issues. Unfortunately, he got the same Movin' bike I got. But it sounds like he drew the short straw, unfortunately, and has had some issues with it that should still be covered under warranty. So hopefully they do him right and and get him the parts he needs. I'm probably gonna sell that moving bike. Not that I don't like it. I absolutely love it. I've just got 2 new e-bikes. I can't have a whole stable of them. Aaron Hockey says, cool tour of the CNE grounds, the once home to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Looks like the Arizona State Fair. If you went on the tower drop ride, you'd puke through your face. I love that tower drop drive. Thank you, Christopher Haydock. I have not seen you in the chat in a few days. And you know what, guys? I think we have 149 viewers. We've got a pretty strong show. But I think we're going to cut it short. I want to get those Bill Burr tickets. I got laundry to do. I think Ken's going live. Game of Thrones is coming on. So I think we're going to cut it. I was only going to go to 9, but I got a little carried away. It's 9:07. So we're probably going to do... I don't know which video I'm going to premiere tomorrow. Maybe... I have one from last week that's a bit older. I got to get that out of the way with. So maybe I'll do that. Then I'll do Open Streets. Then hopefully we'll have a new e-bike video coming up, which I have to film. But anyways, I don't want to keep you guys here any longer, but hugely thank you for dropping in. It's great to be back and not falling asleep like I was at this time last week. I'm going to try to stream. I might go easy on the streaming on the Strides channel just to ride out the month and then hit it hard again in September. So I will probably just stream once or twice this week on that channel. I don't know if I'll do a home stream. I'll probably do one on the e-bike and maybe one on the new scooter. And I'm thinking at some point to do a CNE stream at night. It is $11 after 5 p.m. Monday to Thursday. So that lines up with my cheapskate self. Thank you, Colette. I'm glad you're still with us. Action VJ says good night. Cheesy Rider says later, dude. I think Brad Palmer said goodbye earlier. Vivian Johnson says thanks. Have a good night. Thank you to everyone. Thanks to our mods for their good work. Thanks to our channel supporters and Patreon supporters of Johnny Strides. And thanks to just everyone else. Don't forget to hit the like button. It does help with the algorithm and all that fun stuff. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. We'll be back next Sunday. Hopefully I'll have something a little more prepared than this one, but at least we got the webcam fixed. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. on the Johnny Strides channel. Yoink, as we end it.